Good evening and welcome to Patrick TV GH. This is your savings tutor, Mr. Patrick Bam. This evening I'll be tackling 5 ways that we can solve marital issues when it comes to money. There was a research by Ramsey Solutions in the US, and the findings was that money issue is the second major cause of divorce in America. Now when you come to Ghana, money is the third major cause of divorce after lack of communication or breakdown of communication and infidelity. This shows that the money issues in marriage is a very vital thing that we all need to sit and discuss. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Patrick TV GH. This evening's episode is brought to us by New Executive International School, one of the best private schools at Kaswa Obom. Then also by the Chum Purchasing, official distributors of Kiss Me Energy Drink for Accra and Kumasi. We also have Invest Agriculture. They produce a lot of agricultural produce on the market. You see, marriage is a union between two people who are coming from different backgrounds. Once people are coming from different backgrounds, their understanding of issues will be different. It is therefore important that they sit together and discuss issues when it comes to money, because money decisions are made on a daily basis. Every single day you have to make a decision with money. So it's important that together we all set our priorities right. This evening I'm going to tackle 5 ways that we can solve this issue. The first and the most important is that as a family we need to have a personal budget, or what I say, the family budget. The family budget should set priorities on how much income we are getting for the family and how much we are going to use out of the income that we are getting for what. This is something that should be agreed upon between the two parties. If a family goes throughout the whole year without a family budget, they are going to have money issues. Either one party spending more or the other party saving more. Whenever one party saves or spends more, there's always going to be confusion at home. The second reason, or the second way that we can solve this issue, is that the family should have periodic assessment of their financial goals. Whatever be the financial goal that has been set, they need to meet to discuss it. Some can do it once a month, once in 3 months, or twice in a month. What you are doing is that you are assessing the progress that you are making. So if assuming per your budget you discuss that we are going to use X amount of money to invest in an insurance product, you need to come back and ask yourself, were we able to do that? And this is a very key thing to knowing whether the family, you are going off track when it comes to money or not. The third reason, or the third way that we can also use or do to solve marital issue, is that no party or partner should go for a debt without the other party knowing. The research by Ramsey and Solution came to the point that 1/3 of the respondents says that they had debt or loans that their other partner was not aware of. Assuming you are in the house with your husband and you've gone for a facility or a loan that your husband is not aware, what do you think will happen when he gets to know that you are struggling to pay that facility? There should be transparency when it comes to indebtedness in marriage. Each and everyone who decides to go for a debt should make the other party aware, so that you will look at the pros and cons of that loan. Other than that, when the other party gets to know of it, it will lead to fighting at home, which can even lead to breakups. The fourth thing that we can do, we should have separate account and a joint account. I've been asked this question on so many occasions, whether it is good for married couples to have a joint account. Yes, it's good to have joint account. It's also equally good to have a separate account. Now let me explain this. A joint account will be used for specific purposes. So for example, you have a kid who is in class 6, but you are planning for the kid to go to a special secondary or senior high school in 3 years time. As a family, you can decide, okay, because the cost of that school is, let's say, 10,000 cedis. As a family, each month we are supposed to contribute this amount into the money, into that fund, sorry. Now when you do that, that joint account will serve that particular purpose. Once you do that account, you have that account, try and have your separate personal account, so that there will not be the need for people to have some kind of fear about the other party having so much access to their account. The fifth and the final point that I want to talk about this evening is that the family should have an emergency fund account. An emergency fund account should not be used for school fees. Emergency fund account should not be used for purchases in the market. Emergency fund account should be emergency for the family, where both the husband and the wife contribute towards an unknown future, an uncertainty. That account will become like a buffer in case of any eventuality to any of the party, either the husband or the wife. I believe that you have enjoyed this evening's section. If you enjoyed our session, we will ask you to subscribe to our channel. You can see the link below, and also share the link with your friends. And we'll meet again next week to discuss other issues relating to money. Good evening.